welcome back to another episode of the Super Sleepy Gamer. Let me ask you a question. Alright, so just say is there a franchise or a character or a cartoon or something that you really love, right? And Hollywood understands that you love this thing, so they want your money and they go and make a movie. So the question I would like to ask you is, who would you like to direct that movie? I like some of James Cameron's stuff. I like the Aliens. He likes Aliens. Terminator 2. And I've heard some good things about Steven Spielberg. He's directed some things. I've heard. I don't watch many of his stuff. Let's face it. There's one really obvious answer that comes. The name when you want a good movie directed by a good guy. The one name that comes to mind is Michael Bay. It's Michael Bay. I'm sorry, you knew it was Michael Bay. We all knew it was Michael Bay. If you didn't know right away, it's alright. But it was Michael Bay. But he is producing a brand new Turtles movie. Alright, and this comes out soon. So this is why this is a jam-packed episode. We are celebrating that movie coming out by, I'm going to cover not one, two games. Two Turtle games. Two. So I added them to my prestigious collection. There we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Hyperstone Heist. That's right. This is the Genesis entry we have here. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Now, this one was based off the third movie of the same name. I'm old. I was around back, in the day when these guys were running around like nuts in New York. So let me explain a little bit of history. There was two guys, Kevin Eastman and Peter Venkman. Now, they were the ones who created Turtles. The story kind of goes like they were having cocaine. It was the 80s. Cocaine is like today's equivalent of coffee. All right. So they were all high, and some guys mentioned to him, "Hey, buddies, I guess it was both of them, you should make a cartoon about Ninja Turtles that are mutated, and maybe make them teenagers." So that's what they did. Now, these it started out as a kid's cartoon. That was the first thing that showed up. It was like 80s something or other. It eventually spawned comics, some movies, and then, of course, where we're going to go here, video games. Alright, so the first thing I want to cover with these two games is their covers, as I am wont to do. Cover art, I thought, back in the day, it was pretty important. I couldn't go online and say, show me every single thing somebody playing through this game so I know what it's like. First off with Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. It shows the four turtles are in a galactic hurricane of some kind. There's monsters, there's a train, a ghost ship, and they're on galactic surfboards. Now this is what you would see every week. This is the Turtles right here. This is nothing out of the ordinary. This is Turtles right here. That's fine. That's fine. You would see that and you'd be like, that's fine, because it's the Turtles. This cover gets a little weird in my humble opinion. Why? Because the story of this one, I'll get more into it later, but there's a tiny city, right? You see this little tiny city in the front? Can you see that? It's a little tiny city. You see it? Beep, beep, beep. So the huge turtles are around the city, all right? And so you kind of think to yourself, all right, is the city tiny or are the turtles huge? Now, the confusing thing is that if you look at the background behind the turtles, they're in another city. So what is it? What are they doing? Are they big, or is the city tiny, but how is there still a big city there? How is there two cities? There's two cities. If that city was shrunk or enlarged, it would destroy or not be a city back here. So that was weird. This cover makes total sense. This cover it's chaos. This is chaos, this cover. These games were made by a company called Konami. Obviously, they're the biggest company right now. They're making AAA games left and right. Everybody loves them. They're known for treating their employees with respect and dignity. They all want to stay there for their whole entire careers. But here's the thing. This is why I think that I can cover 2 games in one little episode. This was an arcade game. All right, Konami made it, and it was pretty great. Everybody liked it. They brought it home to the Super Nintendo, as you can see, and that was very well embraced. It was a good version of the arcade. They did good. One big disappointment I had. Now, one of the things the Turtles did in the 90s was they had a music career too. They went on tour. It's like the Turtles in Shell. They had shells. They loved talking about shells. So they went on tour and they sung songs, and they were great. I mean, they were Emmy award-winning songs. The songs went Emmys? I don't know. But their albums went triple platinum. One of the songs was Turtle Power. I think that was the one that was actually played in the arcade system. So when I was at the arcade, I'd hear that and I knew some shit was going down. But that was not in the home version. So that was disappointing. I think there might be like a MIDI version, but the arcade version had the voices, it had the whole shebang. But what happened, this is for the Super Nintendo, again, what happened was, though, Konami had realized that despite the lack of Phil Collins, the Genesis was doing really good. So they wanted to make a game for the Genesis. Well, I should say this. They wanted to make the money of selling a game on the Genesis. They didn't really want to make a game for the Genesis. That was a big conflict of interest. So what they did was they took this one, they chopped it up, took chunks, and threw it together in not as good of a package. It wasn't as good. They took away some, they added some, but the additions did not make up for all the shit they took out. You pick one of the 4 turtles. Oh, I have the toys, so you can know what they were like. This is Leonardo. He was a rebel of the group. Didn't like to, work as a team. There's this guy right here, David. He was really uptight, had a stick in his ass the whole time. And then you had right here Venus de Milo. He was the only female turtle. And then you had Raphael. He was the other guy. He was just the smart ass. Those were the turtles. You got to play as all of those. They were different. You walked around. There was levels where there was places where you walked. But in this one, you travel all through time. That's what made it interesting. So you go to different time periods. All of a sudden, you're at a pirate. See, here's the thing: you're at a pirate ship, right? And the pirate ship, it's cool. It fits the time period. Whenever time pirates were around, and this has the pirate ship level too. But they just say, "Oh, the turtles stumbled upon a ghost ship, a fucking ghost ship." That's all it was. Both of them, however, I think, have the turtles hurt their toe, and they jump up and down. They hold their toe, and they yell, "My toe, my toe!" Right? And I love that. You play through the game. You eventually get all the way to, again, you kill a lot of what they call the foot soldiers, right? So they were little robotic ninjas, and they like to play baseball and stuff like that. So you'd fight them and you'd kill other people. There's bosses. This one had Tetsuo from the movie, which was exciting for everybody. We were like, "Fucking yeah!" And he wasn't in this one. So sorry, all the great levels that you had. Well, this is made up because you get to fight some fucking idiot from the movie. Splinter has you assassinating people. He's a vicious rat. They eventually get to the Thunderdome. Obviously they fight Master Blaster. That's what you fight at the Thunderdome. They got it a little bit wrong. They put Master in the belly of Blaster, and he looked like a brain. So at the end, you get beyond the Thunderdome. You actually fight. Well, you fight Super Shredder. Super Shredder you don't really fight him because what he does is like a moron and in a completely uninteresting way, he pushes columns down and a stupid freaking pier falls on his damn head. Why would we want to see this guy stab the fuck out of him? Why would we want that when we could just have him push half a couple planks, fall on his head and kill him. The turtles love pizza, so when you're playing the game, you could find pizza that miraculously gives you health. I haven't met anyone who's eaten pizza and become healthier. Anyways, you kill the shredder. The turtles, they end up getting demutated. They turn into their normal selves. That about sums it up. Overall, these are actually both good games. Alright. This one I think is definitely better. In fact, it had a move where you could throw the enemy at the screen. And they took it out of this one. And the funny thing is, there was no reason to take it out of this one. Some magazines were like, oh, well, it was mode 7. You can't do mode 7 with that one, so we can't put it in there. It was not mode 7. It was like 2 frames of the guy going boop boop, and he was that big in the screen in your face. Mode 7 didn't work like that. It wasn't that. It was just, so they just took it out. They added like some slam move instead. You can beat this game honestly in about 30 minutes. Maybe this one in about an hour. So probably not worth losing sleep unless you're just really weird. You have some sort of turtle fetish. Movies coming out. It's called like Out of the Shadows or something like that. Greatest directors behind it, producing it. Go watch it, enjoy it. Play games. Don't worry about sleeping. Just have some fun. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.